UTSA women's basketball coach Karen Aston's weekly media availability the week of November 10th, 2025. Roadrunners opened up the season on the road, taking on Texas Tech and Houston last week. And this week they'll get things going in the Convocation Center, playing Texas State on November 13th. Coach, if you could start us off with an opening statement, and then we'll open it up to questions using the raise hand function.
Yeah, I thought it was a very necessary weekend for us to get the season started. I've kind of been saying for a few weeks now that we really needed to play and we needed to sort of reaffirm anything we were doing well and get to the point that we understood what our weaknesses were. And we got out of the gates against two Power 4 opponents on the road, and they pretty quickly exposed the things that we're not doing very well every day in practice. I'm a firm believer that what you do in practice every day is what's going to carry over in the games, and there are some things we did well. Don't get me wrong. I was very pleased with the bounce back, really, the effort that we gave against Houston in a quick turnaround. I thought that there were some really good things to build on and just some things that we have to grow, with. And we are a young basketball team that isn't going to, have a miraculous turnaround in 24 hours or anything like that. But I think that they're learning and they're beginning to understand some things that have to be done on a daily basis to help us win. And I say this all the time. I'm excited to see what the finished product is of this team. We're not anywhere close to that, and it'll be fun to watch them grow. I do want to say one thing before we move on. Despite our losses, I thought it was a tremendous weekend for women's athletics at UTSA. It's tough to go on the road and do what soccer did, and I just thought that it was a tremendous show of grit and just a will to win. It was fun to watch, and I'm so excited for them and look forward to seeing what they do in the NCAA tournament. And then I thought Carol had a great weekend, a necessary weekend for her to get into the American tournament. So it was a good weekend.
Sean?
Coach, I guess characteristic of a young team, but two things that really stood out is free throws and turnovers, which are really both pretty fixable things. Does that give you some confidence knowing that maybe two of the things you need to correct are pretty correctable things?
Yeah, Sean. I mean, to be honest with you, there's an addition to that which might not have shown up in the necessarily in the box score, but I didn't think we rebounded the ball very well, and as you know, that's a big selling point for our program and kind of a staple for who we are. And we got to get our guards in the rebounding game. I definitely thought that Mia made some strides in the last game and got on the boards for us. But again, if you look at the stats, our guards are not doing a lot on the boards, and I think they've got to try to help us get some extra possessions. It's a possession game, and as you said, we lost it. We lost it based on turnovers, and even though we can make excuses for ourselves and say we were on the road and played against two pressing teams, it doesn't matter. I mean, we got to learn how to take care of the ball. We have to learn how to value possessions, which goes along with offensive rebounding also, and it will make us a better team. But there's so many little things that had to happen in the game for them to see on film. Really minute little things that'll make a difference in whether it's actually a turnover or not, and sometimes it looks glaring on the person that turns it over, but it's really it's a team problem that we've got to learn from, and we will. It's not stuff that I don't think we'll get better at. We're going to address it in practice, but you kind of have to live some things sometimes in a game before you understand.
Jerry?
Yeah, good morning, Coach. I wanted to ask, your program has the 16-game winning streak at the Convocation Center, 13-0 last year. And I was wondering just kind of how you're approaching that with your players this week. Do you expect it to come up in your meetings or your practices this week? How are you approaching that?
No, it won't come up at all. The only thing that's going to come up is stop turning the ball over. We need to address things that we've got to do better. It doesn't matter whether we're playing at home, on the road. the most exciting thing to me about Thursday is being at home because I love our crowd. I love the energy that the convocation brings. We're going to hang a banner on Thursday, so I'm super excited about that. But, that's not what we're going to talk about this week. We're going to talk about how to be a better basketball team, how to take care of the ball, how to do things, the real simple stuff better, and just take it one day at a time. I mean, today is practice, and we've got to worry about having a good practice and trying to learn how to practice at the level of intensity that we played the game at, or we tried to play the game at. That's something that this young team has to learn, is that there's a game level that you have to get to, and we're not quite there in practice every day. So it's the least of our worries, honestly, where we're playing at. We just need to worry about trying to be a better team every day.
Sean?
Coach, somebody who was really thrown in the fire, but I was impressed with was Adriana at the point guard position, and she seemed to have shown a lot of growth just in the short time from the Texas A&M San Antonio game to the start of the regular season. How pleased have you been with her performance, and how have you seen her grow?
Yeah, I'm super pleased. I mean, it's tough at this level. We talk about this all the time. I mean, people don't necessarily play freshman point guards or freshman quarterbacks. I mean, it's a growing process for any freshman, but in particular, the amount of minutes that she played in both games, based on Ariana's injury, and it put a lot on her, and it would have helped had we had some other experienced guards around her. But to be honest with you, we threw three of them in the fire, and they got better. I mean, you look from game 1 to game 2. The turnovers were still there, but if you look at Adriana in particular, who you asked about, I mean, we talked in between the two games, like, your role is to not only look for your own shot, but it's also, how do you get others involved in the game? How can you up your assist rate? And she did that, and she's going to learn, like, what's a good foul and what's not. I thought she got herself in foul trouble in both of the games, but she'll learn. I mean, that's just something a freshman always has to learn. But I can't complain at all about the type of effort that she's giving and how much she's willing to learn and how much she wants to learn the game.
Gary?
Yeah, Coach, on Ariana, I wanted to ask, you mentioned after the Houston game about how admirable it was for her to have put forth that effort, coming off a period where she hadn't been practicing much, apparently. I wanted to see if you could elaborate a little bit on just maybe how long she had been out of contact practices, and just what it took for her to, just what it took for her and her willpower and whatever to get ready to play as much as she did the other night. That was pretty good what she did.
Yeah, I mean, she had been out a couple of weeks, and she had, there's a protocol to that, and return to play protocol where you can do a little bit one day and a little bit more. But as far as practice, it had been a little bit since she had been out, and she was ready to play. I mean, there's no question about it. She was ready to play, and she had been doing the things that it took to be ready to play. But it is different when you get into the pace of the game and the physicality of the game. So I thought that you could see that. I mean, she had to ask out of the game in the first half, and you also could see that down the stretch of the game, that was the Ariana that we're going to need. We're going to need someone that's willing to step up, get to the free throw line. I thought she missed the free throws because of fatigue, but she also understands she's been in the fires. So just to, for her to be able to talk our young guys through some certain situations is going to be really helpful. She's very vocal. She's very vocal in timeouts. She knows what we're looking for. She knows adjustments that she feels it out there in the game, so she can make some adjustments for the team. Like defensively, she had some things to say late in the game that I thought were very helpful. So I think that, it's just her level of experience. I mean, you can't buy that. You can't. I mean, it's just something that you have to live, and she's lived it, and none of the rest of our guards really have.
Sean?
Coach, just kind of wanted to give you this space to encourage fans why they should come out on Thursday, particularly for the celebration?
Yeah, I mean it's exciting. Not very many times. I mean, you want to get into a habit of hanging a banner every single year, but you do understand, and you are living in the moment as far as understanding that it doesn't happen every year. And for us to hang two banners on Thursday is I mean I'm just from a reflection standpoint, I'm so proud of what this program has accomplished, in particular 2 years in a row. And they're not always, I mean, we're never satisfied. We want to hang an NCAA banner and all of that. But I think to hang the first UTSA conference championship banner, I mean, now we're on, soccer just got the third one. I'm proud of where this program is. I'm proud of how our kids played this weekend. I know it wasn't a win, and it's not good enough for anybody probably that expects wins, but we're young and we lost a lot of players, and but I think the banner is a reflection of like, we do have pride. I mean, we want to win. We want to win. We want to hang banners every year, and that's an expectation for our program. And I mean, Sean, when you look at where we were 5 years ago, and to think that we're sitting here talking about the expectation of hanging a banner and the expectation of winning, again, it's not always going to happen. But the fact that that's the expectation here, and that's what our players expect, and that's what they want, is a big deal, and I'm proud of what we've established here.
Jerry?
Yeah, Coach. Any of the players who sat out last week's games, are you expecting any of those kids to return to practice this week?
Well, Ariana played, so she'll definitely be back. I mean, she's.
Any of the others?
I don't even know who you're talking about. I mean, no.
I was just asking about the ones that did not play at all in the two games.
Yeah, we are in a day-to-day basis right now, Jerry. My motto is we're all we got and we're all we need.
Okay.
I write it on the board, and I'm going to write it on the board every day.
Okay.
John?
Coach Mia Hammonds has shown tremendous growth from year one to year two. How do you see her contributing this year, and what do you think kind of her potential is within this program?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think there's an enormous amount of potential. I mean, she is a phenomenal athlete that hasn't, I mean, a lot of people don't know this, but she's not been playing basketball very long at all. Her ceiling is extremely high. It's just from year one to year two, you can see that she's so much more mature. And there's, again, way more growth ahead for her, but just the fact that she was able to make some adjustments from game one to game two, the fact that, she's playing the type of minutes is going to give her this window of opportunity to see what this level really is all about and what it takes. And, she'll go through the year and she's going to have a lot of ups and downs, there's no question. But I think where her real, immense growth will happen is when she's able to take a deep breath, probably after this season is over, and she gets that taste of, okay, this is where I am and this is what I can be. And unfortunately, for a lot of people, they don't have that type of patience. But I think that if she stays the course and she understands the value of the minutes that she's going to play this year, and the value, I guess, of the opportunity, everybody doesn't get it. We have young guards right now that are getting an unbelievable opportunity to get minutes based on whatever you want to base it on. Their window of opportunity is huge, and the lessons that they're going to learn and the potential that they all have to get so much better it's fun to think of. It's fun to watch. I mean, she's got to get better in so many areas, but I think she understands that. She was in my office this morning at 8:30 watching film, and she has a desire to be a really good basketball player. And I think that if you take the desire with the talent, then something good's going to happen there.
All right, that'll wrap things up. Thanks, everybody.
All right, thank you. I'll see you Thursday.